mean, really. So I decided, you know, through the 20 years that I've been a teacher, there's been lots and lots of different ways that we're supposed to teach, and lots of different, but okay, so you accept it. And as my superintendent, Dr. Rella, says, it's another tool in your toolbox. After 20 years, you have a good toolbox. All different things you can pick and choose from. Nobody's interested in my toolbox anymore, right? You're going to learn. I like to learn. I'm 60 years old. I do Facebook, Twitter. I use a smart board. I'm a big shot, right? The problem is, 2 years ago, I sat with Dr. Rella and I said, I don't get this. I just don't get this thing. I think this is a bad thing. I have a bad feeling about this. Something bad is happening here. I can't keep doing this because I'm wasting all of my class time on this test. I can't keep teaching to this test and cover any of the stuff that I want to cover in life science. Where are my periwinkle labs? Where are my earthworm labs? This is life science. I've got guinea pigs and snakes and every kind of animal coming in my room. People are doing experiments that they devise. I have no time for this. I'm just teaching to the test. So we decided with some of the people in Comsmog, we had a little rally 2 years ago in August. We didn't think anybody was going to show up. 2,000 people showed up. So I guess there were other people that were starting to say, I don't have a good feeling about this thing. I just don't have, and then I really doubled my efforts. I started to work with people like Marla and Jeanette, and groups like NICEAP and BATS, and I spoke to parents, and I was told by my union, by people that I respect tremendously, be careful, you can lose your job. Be careful. If you tell people what you really know, you're going to lose your job. Now, I need 2 years to retire. I can't retire before I'm 62 without penalty from my pension system. My husband, as I said, is a musician. He has no pension. He has no health insurance. He's a musician. He's an artist. Be careful. That's what the reporter said to me a couple of weeks ago. Do you understand that the state can lift your license? Do you understand that you can be fired? And I went to Dr. Rella and I said, Joe, I in good conscience can no longer give this test. I can't do it. I can't. I can't teach to the test. I can't waste 1 more minute on it. I cannot administer it. And of course, I will continue to fight to have it go away for every child. Because now I'm a grandma. And so my baby Luke is going to go to public school. And my daughter-in-law, and hopefully my son, will be teachers. And I have to fight for them. I have to fight for my 300 members. I have to fight for all of my students. And I have to fight for myself, quite honestly, because when I graduated from East Meadow High School, I knew, without a shadow of a doubt, that I could learn. I could go to Columbia University, I could go to Stony Brook in my 40s, I could learn, I could figure this out. I do not want to wake up one day on a gurney in an emergency room, looking into the eyes of someone going, what's the answer, Mrs. DeMito? Not now, not now, not now. So I will not teach to this test. I will not administer this test. The test refusal movement, everyone on this panel, this is very, very slanted in one direction. You are not getting both sides of any story here. Nobody here is trying to tell you that you're going to get a well-rounded, vision of this argument. Forget it. We're all on the same page. The reason that you would refuse, and I'm not allowed to tell you this, the reason that you would refuse to allow your children to take these tests is because there are only two reasons to give a test. You give a test to inform your own pedagogy, to make sure that I am actually teaching the subject matter in a manner in which children can absorb it, and creating a test that children can take and be successful on. So that informs my pedagogy. And the other reason I give the test, only two reasons, is so that I know how every child is absorbing or understanding the material that I'm giving, so that I can now change what I do to meet their needs. This test doesn't do that. It doesn't do either of those things. It doesn't do anything. It does not affect your children negatively or positively. In April, they take the test. We don't get the results to the next school year. The district has already assigned them a new teacher. If they're going to be left back, it's already been decided. If they're going to be promoted, it's already been decided. If Johnny's going to have AIS, it's already been decided. If Susie's going in gifted and talented, oh, I forgot, we don't have those programs anymore in any of the schools. Gifted and talented, right? Oh, yeah, I remember the gifted and talented. Anybody remember that? You're never going to see it again. Not if this agenda continues. So, it doesn't in any way help your child, negatively or positively. Whatever's going to happen to your kid is going to happen regardless of what they get. And it has no effect on your teacher. If every child in the class sends in an I refuse letter tomorrow, all the test prep will stop. The teachers hate You need statistical data to affix to the teacher to affect the APPR. If there is no data, does it affect the teacher in any way? It just doesn't get added in. It doesn't exist. That's why you can't just keep your daughter or your son home. They have to come to school so you can fill in 999 as a refusal in the state of New York. You can't opt out in the state of New York. You can only refuse. So it's 999, gets bubbled onto the test, and then the child has refused. The teacher is in no way impacted by what happens if you do that. The governor imposed a 60% on us. In Kamsawag, we lost by 20, our budget went down by 26 votes the first term. 26 votes to get to 60%. He only won by 53%. I said to him a little note, I said, that 53 looks good, doesn't it? Today, Governor, on November 6th. All I want is 53% of the children in the state of New York to refuse to take the test. That's all I want. I'd love 100. But all I want is 53%. So I can write him a letter and say, how's that 53%?